What is Valley of Grace? Valley of Grace is a compilation of 40 devotions, poetry, and tips for organizing your home so that it's simple, functional, and grace-filled. When we're in our valley, we often feel that we are void of resources. However, if you're viewing pictures of valleys, 9 times out of 10 you're seeing water that's flowing on top of the valley, or there's a source of water that's running underneath. And it's basically likened to our situations that we're going through. We feel like God has abandoned us, He's forgotten about us, He's forsaken us. However, just like that water that's running on top of the valley, we have God's grace running right on top of us. It's either running right on top or it's running right underneath, where others are looking at us and they're going, I cannot pinpoint it, but I see something supernatural that's going on in this person's life. Joseph in Genesis 39 to be exact, he could attest to this. Some of you guys have faced valleys like myself where you've had divorce, you've had situations where you faced homelessness several times, and you faced illnesses, breakup of the family unit in general, you've had death of family members, and you've had to deal with all of these issues within a span of about 1.5 to 2 years. Basically all of the major life traumas. And when you're going through, you're looking at God and you're asking, where are you? Why does this keep happening to me? Just like in the situation with Joseph, his valley began where he was rejected by his brothers. And they rejected Joseph because they were rejected by daddy, so to speak. Joseph went from being rejected, then he was placed in slavery, and he went from being placed in slavery to being accused of rape. And he went from being accused of rape to being put in prison with the butler and then the baker. But God had his hands and his shield of protection going all around Joseph. In Genesis 39, we're constantly reminded, and the Lord was with Joseph. And when we're going through our valley, we can do the same thing. We can replace Joseph's name with our own. And one of my friends, she liked to joke with me as I was going through my valley, and she would say, and the Lord was with Katina. And I want you guys to remember that as well. Pharaoh saw God's valley of grace around Joseph. And before he was put into prison, he elevated him as far as his role, even in his household. God released Joseph from his valley once Joseph got to the point of growth. Right before he was accused of rape, he told Pharaoh's wife, no one else is greater in this house than myself. And I can't create this sinful situation against God and against Pharaoh. The thing is that he forgot to give credit to God. Joseph ended up being in prison with the butler and the baker, and as soon as the butler got out, he said, don't forget about me, basically. A lot of times we'll tell other people, can you say, put in a good word for me with a job, or put in a good word for me in the house, and they say, oh girl, I have your back, I'm going to remember you, or guy, I got your back, you know, dude, you're in it, I'm going to remember you, and they forget all about us. But the butler remembered Joseph right when Pharaoh could not have his dream interpreted properly. And it was right at this point that Joseph was ready. He admitted to Pharaoh that only God could interpret dreams. He was ready for his calling on his life. A lot of times it's the same thing for us. We have to get rid of our pride. We have to get rid of look at us, it's all about me, because it's not. As soon as we're ready to glorify God and to tell others it's all about Him, that is when we're ready for movement out of our valley. I hope that Valley of Grace will help you to heal. I hope that it'll help you to grieve, that you will cry, that you will laugh, you will smile, and that you will be able to grow and know that God is there. He's not forgotten about you. He's not forsaken you. He has that river of water of grace that's running right on top of that valley. You can find Valley of Grace at www.amazon.com. It's on sale, and the theme song for Valley of Grace as well will be available, and it's by Timothy Horton, and it can also be found on amazon.com. Thank you, and have a blessed day.